All right, family. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, family. Oh, man. Good morning, family out there today, March the 31st, right? March the 31st, 2025. On a Monday morning, family, welcome in, right? Welcome in us, who are the 1100 plus strong, ever rising. Family, thank you for your support, because again, this thing does not work without the listener. It does not work without the participant. This life does not work. Got to keep saying it. Again, repetition. We ain't said that in a while. Repetition is necessary for learning. It does not work without the worker, without the helper. This thing don't work without you and me, family, right? For as much as they will talk about the boss and the co-boss and that whole group there, the balance of life and in the family. Same thing with the husband. Gentlemen, if we are going to be the reapers of the pleasures of life, we also have to be the managers and the stewards of the responsibilities in this life, right? Where it's time to, that TV show Nip and Tuck back in the day. And again, we have talked about one of these months. I don't remember if it was this one. I could have been wrong in going over the month lists, just the course 12 months. You forget some of them, right? We're going to get better at remembering them because they mean something. They mean something. When a nation puts its thing on, when it puts its stamp on it, doesn't validate it, but what it validates is the person's work in bringing to a recognition that it means something, that it matters. Just to use words that folks have a problem with, right? Family, welcome in us again, just to finish and tie this off. Us who are the 1100 plus strong, who believe in, who hope in, who think on, who look for, who love, who hunger, thirst for that which is a different view. Family, welcome in, right? Today's topic, again, we're going to, as it's the end of the month, really is just going to kind of highlight around the female. The main part of this thing, of course, you have like colorectal awareness month, right? And dealing with your digestive system, your stomach, right? The colon, all of these areas in the body, family, right? That we must pay attention to. Of course, we did a live on Facebook couple days ago, right, where your boy got on, right, just to speak on and talk on some stuff with our dear brother Marvin Sapp. And of course, it's just an article that I saw that was necessary to speak on. What I did not realize is that the events had happened in July, I believe, from an article I saw, which is interesting how something pops up from July till now. When it comes to, because we talk this algorithm and artificial intelligence, aka AI, right? Because we have a problem continuously saying the whole word, so we got to dumb down what we're saying. Again, when you deal with linguistics of the world, the way they speak is not the same way we speak. They speak direct each time, every time. Do they have some shortcuts in their speech? Yes, but it's not the same, right, family? So I mean, there's just that part of it. Okay, there's differences all across the world. I bring that out to say that sometimes it's good to say the whole of a thing, right? We got more acronyms than I think we do the actual word we say. And sometimes that gets lost on folks. Like, for instance, with me, and again, most of this stuff, I pay attention. And like we say on the podcast, it's good to pay attention. But because a lot of this is mess, you're sitting there paying attention to negative energy all the time, and you imbalance yourself in doing so, right? So a lot of times I don't pay, like for instance, the Bible consistently talks about these times where Christ comes away, right? You're doing your thing, you're in there, you're helping people, you're speaking truth, then you come away. The periods of coming away have been horribly minimized by massa because they need you there drained. Again, I am laughing through this, but it's a real thing. They want you there drained mentally, physically, all the while you're enriching and empowering them. So when they talk about all these not car crashes, airplane crashes and all this kinds of stuff, y'all, again, just look at the reoccurring themes that happen around it. Normally deals with pilot fatigue, right? Which means that the pilot is going to have to get some rest. You cannot work 24/7, family, and that's where they got us. That's where they got us. You use excuses like, well, how you gonna pay them bills, KJ? And you know, how you gonna take care of your family, KJ? And all of this other kind of stuff. Leave it alone. Right? Leave it alone. You know what? This isn't about not working, but this is about speaking to an issue. Okay, so let's just hop on in. Right, we're gonna look at this from and now again, everybody uses the Bible to kind of portray a thing. I on the other hand, want to say it a different way. Right, this is the point. This is the point of the podcast, family. Okay, and again, to each their own. Right, we're not looking to be popular per se. If something catches on, so be it. Right. Again, family, we thank you for your support. Just to mention, again, we put that out there just for mention's sake, so that people begin to understand. Again, repetition is necessary for learning. Right. So the podcast is on Spotify. It is on Spotify for creators. If you use that app to do things, I'd use it in order to track podcast participation and all that type of thing. Right. We're on Apple, we're on YouTube, right, at A Different View 80. That's the YouTube channel by which you can find A Different View, that, you know, the podcast there. Let's see. I know I have seen some people are watching this through their computer, because there's different things and different trackings that they show. However you can get to the podcast is there. We've had people shout out your boy. Before we can give you the links to wherever you're listening, we will find out the information and get you those links. That's part of the service, y'all. That's part of the service. That's how you make the bank, as they say. Yeah, family, that's part of the service. And honestly and truly, I am happy to serve. Right, family. You hear this. This is kind of talk. This is kind of talk that you see on Daredevil Born Again. Shout out to this show right now, family. If you've not watched Daredevil Born Again, I understand people have an issue with Marvel comics. They haven't had an issue with comic books in general from the jump. Again, people don't like looking in the mirror. They don't. Listen, family, when we're honest with each other, people don't like looking in the mirror. Okay, nobody want to, like we said, we did that whole live about Marvin Sapp and the impropriety of you trying to hold down your congregation for 40K. Okay, even though it happened in July. Again, be careful that your sins will find you out, man. All right. And listen, I'm not saying whether or not that the system created, of which we use, is not for some very nefarious purposes with a little bit of holiness sprinkled in. We understand that. Okay. See, again, at some point, people have got to start recognizing this system. You got to start recognizing the play. That's why we say it that way, right? Stay woke, family, is how our black brothers and sisters used to say it in the 60s and 70s. Now twisted, of course, so that another group of people can continue to do what they have always done, which is kick the black man and woman in the nuts. It's only those of the varying skin tones in the nuts, and also those who are in the own people group, like the so-called pale, aka white man, right? That whole group, the ones that they consider low on the totem pole, y'all are in the group too. Now, is there this part here where you got to give some consideration to it? If everybody on the come up, will they try to bring you up with them too? Maybe. Got to say it plainly. Maybe. There was a reason why you had KKK members following the Black Panther leader at the time. I believe it was in California. I know they were doing work in Chicago. They was doing work all over the Black Panthers, right? But Fred Hampton, right? There's a reason that man was able to talk to these rival gang members and all this. Everybody, y'all. That's what the Rainbow Coalition's about. the start of it. I'm not getting into all the other, again, like we always do, we get into all of the stuff where it goes off the rails. The same thing with Black Lives Matter. We get into the part where it goes off the rails and we don't stay to that, which is the real. It's the same thing with the church. Hey, we don't go back into the Bible to find it. We do this form of godliness, to use a Bible verse, and deny the power therein. That's where we're at. Because again, these pastors, we talked about it a couple months ago with Keon Henderson. We talked about it here where giving, there's no blessing in giving, and all this weird mess that folks is out here doing. Meanwhile, they sitting there and they sleeping with their congregants. They getting young women pregnant. There's a whole lot of stuff here you could. But again, the Bible didn't already give you that. When you look at the story of David, Bathsheba, and Uriah, your main lead military, for everybody with the military out there, and they on the Israel kick, right? For everybody, here's a story for you to bring some balance to it before you go too far. You're a high military leader, and the king leading over your military said, screw you. Could say it other ways, right? I'm taking your woman, and when you come back from service, I'm killing you. How many different times have we seen that kind of mess with the military? See, the veteran needs to start talking. Do you know how many different videos you see online where they kick the veteran out of these different town hall meetings and stuff? They don't give a damn. Let's say it in the most plainest English so folks can understand. They don't give a damn. Michael Jackson was right. They don't really care about us. Yeah, that's what this is, y'all. It's what it's always been. You use a thing to use the people to enrich yourselves. And when we say use the thing, they stole the thing and are using it to enrich themselves by people who are making this run, then telling you how you are so rebellious and disrespectful for wanting your piece of the pie, that when you look in the same Bible they use to bind the people in these lands, is telling you that the worker is worth their wage. Family, we got to be clear that a serious mental game is being played on folks so that you stay subjective, or subjugated, I should say, right? And that is not part of the, since folks have an issue with sex, that is not part of that is not part of the S in the BDSM topic we talk on, right? And that submission and the submissive way people are acting, while they share very serious similarity, is not the same thing, okay? It's time for us to raise up in that energy and that power and that purpose and that calling in our lives that's been given to us. And again, it's time for us to be entrepreneurs. They don't make the game where you are the business leader. They make the game so that you support other business leaders. That's the sauce, y'all. And because folks are scared to lose their $50, $60, $70,000, $80, $90, $100, $150, $200,000, that's normally right where it's about. Because again, by the time you hit $500,000, $1 million, all that kind of stuff, some of these people ain't worried. They have again, you crack some of the codes here and all that kind of thing where you can store up wealth for yourself. Again, you don't see the idea is not to bring up the group. The idea is to leave that group that's down underneath right there, which is why you could have a plantation house and the helps house right in the back. People are thinking that the plantation thing, slavery's over, but it's not. It just transformed into something else. These are the different things we have talked about. It, again, same thing like folks thinking the South lost to the North. No one won in the Civil War. I don't know. I don't know how else to tell people. They telling you someone won. Again, the invader came in through the North, migrated to the South. Same kind of play that they, Lord help us, man. Same kind of play that they did with the Civil War, with the American Revolution. Again, we call it the European Revolution because that's what it was, right? They came over, invaded in the North after scouting out years before, right? Took it by hook and crook, both killing people. This is where we get the whole Thanksgiving Day massacre stuff and all that kind of stuff from, that we just kind of, I don't see nothing, right? And then that turns into them migrating south. This is where you get your East Coast from, by the way, y'all, right? Just saying what it is, right? Shout out to the East Coast one time. I'm from New York, man, but we ain't gonna sit here. I'm not hiding no more. I don't know about anybody else, but I cannot live my life like that no more, okay? Right? So again, as we learn, we share with the family. That's what it is. Okay. Shout out to Mound Bayou, Mississippi. One time, man. For everybody who keeps talking this trash about how poor the South is. Again, they were made that way. And what you don't realize is there's a lot of contribution as we're dealing in the back end here of National Women's History Month, man. Shout out to the black women, the contribution made to keep, see again, we all lives matter, KJ. Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know. Oh, we know. And because of that, the black ones do. So you can put a spotlight on any one of them at any time you want to. You can sit there and stay there for a couple months, talk about this one, go on, talk about the next one. We could put a focus on the downtrodden ones, since the focus has always been on the uplifted ones this whole time. We could do that too, right? The ducking and dodging only helps them, family, not you, right? Let's get into Proverbs 31. We said we were going to do it. No better time than the last day here. We could probably did it for the whole month and broke down little bits by little bits, but we're going to do this here. We're going to keep it real concise. Again, we're not here to take your time, family, today. So, the words of King Lemuel, Proverbs 31, verse 1. The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him, okay? What, my son, and what, the son of my womb, and what, this kind of sounds like Stone Cold's Little What? Oh, man, shout out to WWE one time. We ain't going to get off on that topic right now, though. And what the son of my, for another day, man. And what the son of my vows. Verse 3, give not strength unto women. We're going to take away a lot of the spook, family. We said that the female in our life, right? And again, partner, for those who have an issue with certain things, I'm not going to neglect some stuff here, but this is just talking specifically about women, right? That's your teammate. So we're going to have to recognize the team in our lives, right? Being a Bulls fan, we're going to have to take the minute talking about team, man. That's the, Giddy and the gang, man. They're doing their thing right now. They're not. Will they make the playoffs? Probably not. But it's good to see. Again, I'm a Bulls fan, so to see them knock off the Lakers the way they did a couple nights ago, hey, gives you some feeling, man. Gives you some old school feeling I've not had in some time, man. Watching the Bulls play, right? But anyway, back on this. Verse 3: give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So before we start kicking the woman, because this is what we're good at. Right. And again, it comes out of a belief-based thing. Not like in different native cultures and aboriginal cultures across the planet, right? That we discredit. So where the woman was leading, you can look it up. Were there female-dominated tribes? Look it up. We always talk the masculine part. But again, life, the way the Maker made it, is both feminine and masculine. It's not one or the other, right? Because that's the balance of things. Thank God it's that way, right? Anyway. Strength unto woman, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. So the idea is do not be imbalanced. It's not saying the woman is so dangerous. It's saying don't be imbalanced. It said give. When you see that kind of thing, give not thy, it's your dependence. We are both independent and dependent people, family. Can we get a hold of that? We have to get a hold of that. This is where you get this horrible trope that the woman is like always for the man and all, like men is everything and a woman's no. You were made yourself and then brought unto sisters. You are yourself. Thank God it's that way, right? Because you got a group of us out here that do not recognize the gift in you. Continue for verse 4. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes to drink strong drink. Again, we go back to this idea of do not be drunk, whereas in excess. Okay? It's not telling you not to drink. It's telling you to not excessively drink. That's why you see Norfolk Prince's strong drink. Again, drink it kings to drink wine, because when you back then, these folks had revelries where they were drunk like all the time. Okay, kind of think of Thor before he started to grow up a little bit. Not this Love and Thunder mess we just watched, but when you watch like Thor 1, certain things that deal in the Marvel character, this Norse god of thunder, this idea where he was a partier and a reveler as a young man. That's what we're talking about. Less of that, okay, and more of a sound mind, because when you're drunk like that, you aren't thinking correctly. You're inebriated on some level. Sometimes does it give you some levels of clarity when when you sipping a little of the stuff? Yes, but this is not what they're talking about. This is when you give yourself over and you stumbling drunk. You're not right. Come on, family. Somebody know about it in I was gonna say in the building, but we ain't metaphorical building, right? In the house one time, right? In the family, somebody know about somebody who drank too much, right? Come on now. Okay. Same thing with eating. And again, like you saw your boy on the live, man, I got weight to lose. We're not preaching down to nobody. We all this is about acknowledging what's going on, though. I'm not going to sit here and you look silly doing that. All right. Okay. Lest they drink. So this is the explanation of this. Lest they drink and forget the law. So you don't drink to forget the law. You can drink, just don't forget the law. Right? And this is why. Because if you do forget the law, which is what Marvin Sapp was sitting here doing, you pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him, verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that's ready to perish, wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. We're just giving the prologue here, and then we're going to get into what the actual thing everybody always preaches from the pulpit all the time. But we want to give just a little bit of context, right? Wine to those that be of heavy hearts. That's the purpose for the drink right there, family. That's the purpose for your whiskey. That's the purpose for your Irish whiskey, since it's March. That's the purpose for the rum. Shout out to the Caribbean one time, right? That's the purpose for the vodka. Shout out to our Russian brothers and sisters one time, right? That's the purpose for any alcohol you see. Of course, beer. We understand to our beer drinkers out there, the ales, the IPAs, so on and so forth, whatever letters we're giving and stuff, right? To the ale people out there, okay? You got to be careful. Again, that's putting weight on your body, man. We're talking about wheat. What is wheat? See, again, all these kinds of things. Doing it in moderation. Lord, balance. Good God, the different nations of the world, the people groups on the world talking that balance. This is why I shout out to our Asian brothers and sisters. Shout y'all out one time, man. Talking about what women's history, man, our Asian sisters. A one girl rule, you gonna sit there. That's the birth canal, family. You need, never mind, man. I guess the men is gonna try to birth babies now. Is that how it works? And yes, before again, these defenses and excuses in the mind, guys, we get it. Yeah, well, they struck it down, KJ, man. I mean, come on. We know, but what you think? Because they struck it down, and it's not in the mind of people. You constructed a way in which a man looks at a woman. Now, how in the hell are you going to be that woman's teammate when you're looking? Never mind. We're going to keep on going. Because again, it makes you like this is where we get this simping and all this kind of mess from. Because somebody put it in your mind when you start talking in defense of the woman, now you're a weakling. Not over here. Not over here. We talking about that what you fight to the death for. Is there anything that you defend? Out there, family, they're okay defending. They send their own police force, knock down your door to defend their way of living. Come on now. How many times we got to read articles like that? Look back in the revolutions and stuff like that. See how government got involved with it to snuff it out. Fam, come on. Let's not do this thing where, see, again, this is why we give this defense to Israel right now with how they are fighting with their brother and sister over in Palestine. They're justified in what they're doing. But isn't that interesting? Because the same dynamic that happens in family, of which we've been given the family dynamic. God gave us that family dynamic down here. Combination of both woman and man. Right? Yeah, maybe that hip hop artist Rob Bass, right? He got it right. It take two. Never mind. We're going to continue. Verse 7, let him drink, forget his poverty, right? We had 24 minutes here. And remember his misery no more. All right, let's go. Here we go. Verse 10, and we're gonna kick it off here. Who can find a virtuous woman? Virtuous. Take the time 1 second to, whenever you see virtuous, virtue, all that, right? Look at the definition of that word, plug it in every time you see it. Virtuous from Oxford's dictionary, having or showing high moral standards. We have already, for time's sake, we're not going to go and deep dive and all that kind of thing into the word virtue. You can, again, just look up the etymology of the word virtue. That's all you got to type in your phone, right? And what you're going to find is this idea about morals. Morals, good and right and wrong, right? So where you going to find this kind of woman that's got this kind of compass in the mind? Again, because we look at right and wrong, we think right and wrong has got to look a certain way because Master told you. But that's not the case. And we're going to show it here. For her price is far above rubies. Okay, there is no cost. Okay. Yet them rubies is good though. Have them rubies. Have that necklace dangling, shining. But the interior part is shining all the more. Hey, yeah. Verse 11. The heart of the husband doth safely trust in her. This is who can find a virtuous woman. These are the qualities, y'all. Again, they show themselves in different ways. So the woman with the glasses on, kind of like Adrian from Rocky, right? Going to be a little different than the woman in the Superman comic like Lois Lane. Going to be a little different than Wonder Woman, right? Going to be a little different than Black Widow. Come on now. See, we're making the differences, but in that we are hurting ourselves. It's the differences that unite us. Every person looks different, but the same core value is what you're looking for. Let's continue. It's done and operates differently, but it's very similar. Does safely trust in her, right? So he shall have no need of spoil. Okay. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. Okay. That's kind of okay. She seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. Again, the same thing for the man works. If what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And let's flip it around the other way. If that woman working, so should the man, correct? This is talking about this whole idea of who's splitting the bills and all this kind of stuff. Family, you a team. You get it however you got to get it. Get in where you fit in. That's how we say it out in the hood right now, all right? Get in where you fit in. That's it. Ain't worried about how somebody else do it. The Smiths could be doing it different than the Johnsons, different than the Williamsons or the Williams, right? Since we all got a whole lot of names we don't know, especially for black folk, you don't know your name. You know their name they gave you. Never mind. She is like, we can keep it denying it all we want to. It's what it is. Verse 14, she's like the merchant ships, man. Merchant ships, come on now. Now, this is in the Old Testament, right? So we talking BCE or BC, right? And Persia and shipping, which shipping ain't went nowhere. Unfortunately, homeboy want to sit here, Mr. El Presidente, play around with the Panama Canal. Again, you're talking about a landmass that belongs to a nation of which, in order to rob resources from it. But KJ, it takes a longer time to go around South America, man. Come on, it should be, you don't fleece down not no nation. And we all know what this is, y'all. The kickback Panama getting is going to pale, in comparison to what the United States and their buddies would get. But then again, the way this man acting, we ain't going to have too many buddies left. Some of that could also be a hoax. We understand that. Right? Again, it's all about deception and confusion. You got to make the thing look like something isn't when it is. This is masses. There is nothing new under the sun, family. Right? Okay, so she's like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She get it. Where did we take this? Right? And then the woman can only be regulated in the home. Where did that come? This thing say merchant ships bringing food from afar, y'all. How is she going to do that from in the home? How is the home afar? Never mind. Verse 15. She rises also. I know we got our folks that wax poetic out there. And again, you got to explain away a thing. Again, if the man doing it, the woman can too, because the woman is there to help. Wait. So if the woman is there to be help to somebody who can't do it on their own, then they would be doing the same thing Never mind. We'll leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. Y'all keep worrying about the strength and the muscles and all that kind of stuff. Verse 15, she rises also while it is yet night. Okay. Giveth meat to her household and a portion to her maidens. See, somewhere along the line, the thing got really hokey, right? There's a lot of hoaxism going on that the woman ain't doing or what she ain't supposed to do. See, we told y'all, twisting holy notions. This is the name of the game. Whether it's defense, whether it's sex. Again, we had talked about the main areas of activity, right, family? The 10 areas of people activity. Again, by Dr. Neely Fuller Jr., one added on by his colleague, Sister Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, right? Again, National Women's History Month. What the woman has had to go through. Messing with knuckleheaded men and their own insecurities, right? Their own imbalances. Come on, family. Economics, education, entertainment. What that verse is talking about literally affects economics. Also, she's got to be educated on understanding that as a merchant ship from afar, man, we got to go get it, right? Entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and health. Plug that into as you're looking at this thing. It gives you clarity. Like the merchant ships that bring food from afar, she rises while it's night, gives meat to the household, a portion to her maidens. Nobody's lacking, family. The ones helping her do the thing, they get the food too. When it's a portion, don't you get caught off on that it's only supposed to be like a little bit. Portion is an open-ended word. Never mind. She considereth the field and buy it. Oh, she can buy homes too, huh? Thank God for the empowerment in this verse, man. There's very little that you see. There's certain indicators here, especially within Jesus' ministry, constant connection with the woman. Why? Because it's God made both, y'all. It's the Son of God, isn't it? It's going to be saying the same things God said, right? This is what they've taught us. Anyway, she considers a field and buys it. With the fruit of her hand, she plants the vineyard. No man there. Prophecy is what this mama was laying down. Hey. But the woman's supposed to be quiet in the church. See, somebody is not putting the two and two together. That's the you're talking about where a thing goes out of balance. That don't mean that woman not supposed to speak in that church. We're talking out of balance. Two different things. Excuse me there. Verse 17, she girds her loins with strength. My God. My. Man, we, family, come on. Drop the rocks. That's how Jesus challenged them people caught that woman in adultery. Right? Drop the rocks, family. Those of us without sin cast the first stone. We just retelling the account. That's all we doing. We ain't sitting here knocking down nobody. She girds her loins with strength. Tell me the woman can't be strong, man. Leave that mess alone. Leave that mess alone. She strengthens her arms. Okay? Arms you could look at as a couple different ways. Right? Again, you're dealing in equivocal language. So not just them biceps and triceps, ladies, and them forearms. We ain't just talking about that. Again, because you're there to help the man, you're there to help the man in all the different levels. It doesn't matter if you look the same. You've been given the same ability. That's why it was cool to see this last season of Dancing with the Stars. Ilyona, sister, if I mess up your name, if you hear this, right? Ilyona Maher. It was cool to see. She's doing the thing, family. Right? We ain't going to be on the steroid kicking under that, man. You put in that work, you'll have similar look, the same way a man do. Because y'all similar? Never mind. Leave it alone. Verse 18, she perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Okay, so she read them business contracts. Okay. Her candle goeth not out at night. So she prepared. Got you. She layeth her hand to the spindle. See, if she got strong, if her loins is girded with strength, and her hands are strong, and her arms are strong, she ready for war, family. She ready to defend. Never mind. We're gonna keep on. We'll keep on moving with it. She lays her hand to the spindle. This is the same person who brings nurture, by the way. This is why I don't understand where men coming from. If we all talking about similar, and I'm strong, I'm the man. And the Bible tell you you're supposed to bring nurture to your kids. Wait, what? Oh, well, see, KJ, man, that nurture, man, like it's supposed to look a different way from the man. We do all that kind of differential mess. No. God don't do that. It's all baseline. Yeah, looks different, but you're still nurturing. Somebody giving us false senses of masculinity and femininity, family. She lays her hand on the spindle. Her hands hold the distaff. So clearly you're good with the sewing game. Okay. Different gifts. Some people are not, but we're talking about there's no limits. Okay. Stretches out the hand of the poor. Oh, okay. We'll leave that one alone. No, lock the doors and get people to give you money. Oh, wait, she's giving her hand to the poor. Oh, okay. Yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. Okay. 21. She's not afraid of the snow for her household. For all her households clothed with scarlet. So they ready. It don't matter the season. It don't matter the time. You can use snow for different types of. It don't matter. We ready. Gotcha. She maketh her coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Silk. Bruno Mars said 24 karat gold. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're looking good out here. This is for you folks out here, especially Christians. We're supposed to live poor and lowly. Never mind. Never mind. Her husband is known at the gates. When he sits among the elders of the land. Come on, somebody. This type of woman we talking about, man. Stop that mess with me. She maketh fine linen. We almost done here, y'all. Thank you for walking this road. Thank you for hanging in here with me on this one. She maketh fine linen. Fine linen. We ain't making no, sir, would you like some more? We ain't doing none of that. Fine linen and sells it. She know how to sell it. She's a businesswoman. She handling her business, right? Say it in your best Southern way of saying she handling her business, right? And delivereth girdles unto the merchant. We know about girdles, okay, man, and corsets and all this other stuff that women have had to wear. Jesus, Eesh. Vanity, man. Your body shape is your body shape. It's what you got. You work with it. It's the healthiest version. You got it. You make it that way. That's it, man. This goes for both women and men. And all this other mess we chasing is vanity out here, folks. Strength and honor are her clothing. Okay. Now she's making all this. She doing all this, but yet strength and honor. See, inside, man. Looking good outside, inside. We know anybody like that? I know a few folks like that who do family on listening on this podcast today. We know anybody like that? Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. Okay. Opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue. My. Yes, Lord. Her tongue is the law of kindness. Does anybody in the house today know about the law of kindness? You can tell by the actions that nope, they don't. Verse 27, some do. A lot don't. She looketh well to the ways of her household. The ways of her household. She looketh well to make sure it's well, y'all. Right? Again, this all looks different ways. Stop doing this thing that Mrs. Smith got to look like Mrs. Johnson. No. But as long as the baseline of these things are there, that's all we're looking for. You know, they make that trope about like the backyard Becky and the Karen and all that. Listen, when you understand you handling your business, I don't have time to call police on nobody on what they're doing. Unless you know that they running some drug game or something going on in your neighborhood, there's nothing there that I gotta. We good. You done added more stress to your day messing around in somebody else's life, yo. And we've been trained very well to do that garbage. Let it go. As soon as you feel it come up in you, when you feel it come up in your soul and your spirit, let it go. Because that mess leads to nothing but death, division, and destruction. While we talking about the woman, the triple D's, y'all. Again, we be comfortable in every body shape we got. So whether you got big uns, as they said, right, back in the day, or you got small uns, or medium, or whatever, it's what you got. Holy and blessed are you, and what you got, you roll with it. That's it. These comparisons is what Master gave us to keep us divided, hurting each other. All right, the continuation on verse 27, she looks well to the way of her household, eateth not the bread of idleness, which is something that we all can learn from, right? Her children arise up, call her blessed. Also her husband does, and praises her. So that's where we got to get, fellas. You want that virtuous woman in your life? Never mind. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excels them all. Again, not to create division, but there's levels to this, right? Each person excels in their deal, okay? Favor is deceitful. Beauty is this the one we hear a lot, right? Favor is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a woman that fears the Lord shall be praised. Now, break this down a little bit. Again, everything you've been reading is this whole idea of the fear of the Lord, or everything I've been reading, you've been listening to, is the fear of the Lord, y'all. These are the principles laid down there. Spiritual, again, the law of kindness. These are spiritual laws coming from the Maker, but they're spiritual laws that govern and reign in this life. And finally, give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Family, that's where we're going to stop, man. That's where we're going to stop for today. Again, this idea is let the woman cook, right? This is what they say. This is what they say in the streets, right? Let the woman cook. For too long, family, we have put way too many divisions in a place where there shouldn't be. Ladies, be encouraged today, not just in this month, but not just this year. Every day you wake up, man, we going to get it. Physically, soulishly, spiritually. And then we going affecting the town we in, the gates we're in, with the law of kindness. With the law of kindness, right? So that's what we got for you today, family. Thank you very much for walking this road with me, right? Shout out to National Women's History Month, man. Every woman of every culture all over the planet, man, putting in that work. Especially birthing in babies. You're literally putting in that work. And then so much more, because it's more than just baby birthing, right? It's way more than that, right? Affecting schools. Shout out to the teachers, whether in healthcare with the nurses and doctors, because you got doctors who are females now. Come on, somebody, right? Because only the man could be, right? Lawyers. It doesn't matter what it is, whether you're in the distribution and merchandising, aka retail and all that kind of thing, help serving, service of goods, police women, all of this types of stuff, family. The idea they gave us of masculine and feminine is highly off. Go back into history to find that which has always been. Folks walking around nude, had no clothes on, no rape going on because you respected that woman. That consent was of the highest thing. You didn't say there's a certain way this thing went, family. Again, because love was reigning supreme then. And it does no ill to their neighbor, male or female, right? That's what we got for you today, family. Thank you very much for walking this road with me. And until next time. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.